Hey, how's it going? So I'm going to talk about propagation on a certain cactus. So let's talk about seed grown versus cutting. So you could tell when they're seed grown or when they're cuttings by looking at the base. That's a pretty good indicator of how they were propagated. So if you see this one right here, you see how thin it is in the bottom and how big it got up here. So that pretty much tells you how it was a seed grown. Just like I have one, this one was definitely seed grown. This is a Stenocereus Fricii. I've had this for a while, and I know it was seed grown. It wasn't seed grown by me, but I got it as a small seedling. So yeah, that's how you could tell when they're seed grown or cuttings. See, you could see this is a cutting. Look how beefy it is at the base, and then the other growth is yeah, really beefy too. So I don't really like the whole chicken leg look on the cacti. So what I tend to do is propagate the seed grown ones. This is Stenocereus Fricii. If you see the little chicken legs got here, and then it got really fat around this area. So what I'm going to end up doing is chopping it right there, putting it into that much soil, and this is going to be the new plant. So it'll be like, after I pot it, it'll look like that. It'll be really fat. And then it's not a waste because the bottom, it has roots. It'll callus over and it'll pop out. So it'll get new heads. So that's a good thing when you have a cactus that you cut. You could propagate it, especially if you have like a rare cactus. You could hack it into a few pieces. Maybe you could go 1, 2, and then you plant all those, and then you'll have 3 different plants. And whatever's a midcut, whatever doesn't have a tip, will get more pups. Here's an example. I had a tepamo. I chopped it smaller than I would have wanted it to, but I was pretty impulsive on this cut. But if you could see, it got two new pups. And I chopped it into a few pieces. Let me show you here's the one I didn't chop, the tepamo I didn't chop, but let me show you the other parts. The tip 2, I kind of went overboard. I cut it a little short, but look how thick the bottom is going to be now. So this is going to go straight up, and it's going to have a really, really strong, thick base. Pretty good, right? Then I got 2 midcuts, which here's one and here's another, and they both got pups too. So it's getting a little dark. Let me move into the light. So both of the midcuts I got are getting pups. Sit down here. Okay, so you can see here, this is a new pup that's barely starting to come out. And here's another one. So you see, this is gonna get 2 pups. I don't think there's, maybe that one too. So this is gonna get 2 or 3 pups really soon. And this was taken from the middle, so it's a pretty good thick size. So from one cactus, I have 2 midcuts. The base, I guess that could kind of be like a midcut. I mean, it has the top is flat. It doesn't have a tip. That has two tips. So that, let me start again. The base is the original plant, the bottom. So this was one cactus. Now it has 2 heads. This is gonna have 2 heads. Oh, where's the other one? That one has 2 heads. And this is the tip, the really thick tip. So from one cactus I made 1, 2, 3, and 4 plants. But all the midcuts have at least 2 or 3 tips. So after a year or 2 I could cut those and they'll be whole new plants, you know. So that's a good thing about cacti, that they're so resilient and you could easily cut them, and they root really easily by cutting. So if you have a rare cactus that's like a columnar, ask around and find out first, because some varieties are harder to root than others. And like I have this Stenocereus militaris, which hasn't done anything for like a year and a half. It's not rotting. The tip broke off. So these don't tend to, it's kind of rare supposedly for them to get pups on the top. They usually get basal pups or like pups in the bottom. So I'm waiting for the day this Stenocereus militaris gets a pup. But back to the Stenocereus stepamo. So yeah, I made how many again? 1, 2, 3. I made 4 plants out of 1, and how many tips? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I made 7 tips out of 1. Not bad. Actually, one had 3. Looks like it's gonna get 3. So yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I made 8. It's gonna have 8 tips. So I'll do a follow-up video afterwards, after all these pups start to get to a decent size. But you don't have to hack it the way I did. Something I've done, and I want to do to this one, this is a Stenocereus Fricii, is I just want to chop it pretty much like in half. So I want to chop it right there, and then that will be the soil line. So you see how fat the base is going to be. It's going to be a really strong base on this plant. I'll do a video when I do it, and I'll do follow-ups when the bottom pups out. Yeah. Anyways, like this one for example, this is a unique Cereus I had. And I cut it and I plant one of the Cereus plants over there. And the base pupped 3 pups. They're really nice pups, you know. So if you have a rare cactus and you want to propagate it, you want more, you love a cactus and a columnar and you want to make more, one sure way to propagate is to cut it in half, cut it in 3, 4, 5 pieces. Unless you wait for it to pup and then you cut the pup off. When it's something like this, that's a piece of cake. This is a Stenocereus stellatus. See, this got cut here and it pupped into 3 really nice pups. Yeah, you see. Oh, can I turn the light on? Oh yeah, there you go. So you can see it pupped into 3 really nice pups. So yeah, at this point you could go ahead and chop 1 or 2 or all 3 off to propagate, but I have too many stellatus already. I don't need to propagate it. Anyways, I think that's all I got for today for hacking up your cactus to to propagate. What I've done in the past, yeah, really quick. What I did in the past was I would wait for them to pup, and once this got a little bigger, I would propagate that. I would cut that off. But why wait? Go ahead and chop it 1 or 2. The base and the midcuts are going to be forced to pup, and then the tip will go straight up. It might pup, but it's most likely to just go straight up. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Happy cactusing.